Think it might be a little flooded, huh?
Maybe.
All right, it's officially install day number 3. We have the blower on the car. Good majority of what we're gonna knock out today is the rest of basically putting everything back together. Put the steering rack actually back in the car. ECM and the power steering pump's gonna be placed up there. All the intercooler piping should be mounted. The rest of the bracket will be too. So hopefully that gets all cleaned up and the intercooler gets put on the car. All right, so we got the radiator support brackets in. It's basically just a spacer that you're putting on here. All right, so far, while Chris is assembling the rest of the car over there, I've been tasked with putting the blow-off valve on the intercooler there. And then I'm starting to figure out the routing here for the PCV valve and the, this is still technically called a catch can, I believe. It's gonna catch like vapor from the vacuum in the boost lines there, so I think I said that right, or I might sound like a moron. My wrench can handle this. Cause I just want it and I hang out in the coolest bus. Rack and pinions on, tie rods are on, cradle's up, alternator's on. You're still struggling with that, bitch.
I'm not struggling.
He's like, don't label it as struggling.
Struggling, be still trying to fucking put the shaft on.
All right, so this is where we're gonna call it for the night here, and it might not actually look like all that much progress here, but we did actually get a whole lot done. Power steering cooler is mounted and run. The ABS unit is on there. Alternator's back on there. We're about ready to put the belt back on there too. We ran into a problem with the kit to where we gotta make another trip to the hardware store. The radiator has a new bracket for the top to hold it in. We didn't have rubber grommets for it. Not sure why, but we don't. So we need to get that. But once the radiator and condenser are in there, we're actually gonna be mounting the intercooler up here tomorrow, piping the entire rest of the car. This oil cooler has already a mounting bracket that's attached to the car down there. And then really, the whole rest of the kit should be on, all up here too. All right, guys, welcome to day, I'm honestly not even sure what day it is right now. It's been a lot of days actually going into this install, and mainly just because we're taking our time with it. I got a work schedule and everything along the lines of that, but I'm thinking we could have it just about all wrapped up today. Biggest delay by far has certainly been parts availability, or just getting the wrong part with the kit, you know, whatever you want to call it. Got stuck with these riv nuts last time. I didn't have a rib nut tool to actually break the rib nuts off into this bar to mount the intercooler, and now I do. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Well, unfortunately I wasn't filming. Got the 2 holes drilled in here on the back. One of the rib nuts is in. I can't fit that all the way through, so I'm going to drill through on one of the rib nuts and just put a bolt in and a washer at the other end. As I'm going to drill through it more, you can't make this up, I snapped the bit in half. How the hell do you even do that? Give her a little test fit. That looks pretty much on there, and it looks pretty damn straight too, if you ask me. Oh yeah. Doesn't look like it's gonna get a whole lot of airflow, even though this intercooler is absolutely freaking massive. You know what? There's airflow that comes from the top of my bumper. It might make its way into the radiator that way there too. Or the intercooler that way too. Well, right before the rest of this goes on, I thought I'd go over this all one more time. This bracket's on here for the bottom bit. This guy for the top bit. A couple other lines you gotta draw up there. New power steering cooler is all nicely bracketed into place, and then these oil lines here for the power steering, I just kind of zip tied loosely, drew it that way. These are the oil lines, I believe, for the oil cooler right here. Those go sandwich themselves neatly between all that. So it actually kind of tucks away all nicely. All right.
That's why you don't need that fucking gun.
There we go, brothers. Intercooler is now on that bad boy, and as you can see,
Put the radiator in?
lines up pretty good. All right, very good. Yes, the radiator is in. All right, intercooler is mounted. Got a coupler mounted. Horn is tacked up on there. Running this intercooler pipe through here now. Beautiful part about this kit is it really does not have a whole lot of intercooler pipe. So that's cool. All right, I got super ahead of myself. A lot of this was a pain in the butt to deal with here. Blowers on the car. Belt is routed. Coupler down there is actually clamped on there too. That's got a little bit of a kink in it. I want to work out a little bit more. Most of the hoses are connected there. Trying to still figure out some of the vacuum lines. Intercooler and everything else is on the car there as well too. Beautiful. Got a good amount of flex. Everything around it's got a good amount of flex. Officially cannot shear off my oil drain line now. Nice. I hope someone's not looking forward for this install being a very comprehensive guide, because it is going to just be one jump to another. Because I mean, really, the rest of this,
It's going to be very fluid.
yeah, the rest of this all being patched up and put on here is like not even filmed. Startup inbound. I mean, well, let me. Yeah, might as well check to see this. I can't remember which one's a dipstick actually anymore. I think this one's a dipstick up here. Might as well check to see that it's got enough oil on there, right?
Yeah, I would double check. Last thing we want to pull that fucker out.
Done it before.
Well, I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm sure you'd rather not do it twice.
Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, that clutch bigger, huh?
Yep.
Make sure, yeah, be careful, bro.
I just started stripping that.
We didn't get the fuel system done.
No, yeah. Is the thread still okay? Didn't
Yeah, you'll
screw
be
it
okay
up too
with
much?
the head of it.
Okay. Just trying to strip my head unit right at the last second there, guys, you know.
I like that fucking clutch.
We're just making sure it's got enough oil in it before we start it.
Yeah, that's probably
you
a
know.
good idea. You think it'd just be one of those fill till it overflow things.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep pouring.
Just make sure you got it buried all the way down there before you crank it, okay?
I thought I had buried pretty good, but that was my bad. All right, you're good. You're good, buddy. She lives.
How are we looking down there? Oh yeah, we're good.
Just don't give it any gas, though. Huh?
Check our power steering fluid.
Okay. Woo! Yo, no way.
So good.
Yeah, check
That thing sounds so good, bro. Topped it off a little bit more there. Were you saying you wanted to give it another startup? I mean, I'm not opposed to having it start again.
Say when.
When? Think it might be a little flooded, huh?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, she's flooding, bro. Yeah, she's eating fuel right now.
Yeah.
Running super rich.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier how I'm like taking the worst video ever when it comes to actually showing how to put the kit on. Because like I have hardly documented most of it. I'm just a poser at the end of the day, bro. That's what I am.
I wouldn't say that. You're the one with a fucking Corvette.
Poser with a Corvette.
I don't have a fucking Corvette.
All right. the last stretch of this really ended up being just a pain in the butt. So here's what's going on with this external fuel system here. You can see the lines there all tied away here. The external fuel pump is sitting right there. It's wired in, got my wire loom all kind of worked up there too. They gave us a bunch of extra wires, so that's just sitting all there. So this is the bit right here. So if you're looking at this side right here, this is the bit that comes from the tank. You can see that from the filter before it actually hits the pump there. It's teed off into the gas tank right there. That's the biggest thing that I may be concerned about a leak, but we'll see if it leaks or not. Then you got the return line, the fuel line, going all the way up through there, down here, and then that's a quick connect all the way up there, if you can kind of make that out. That goes up through there, through the center back of the car, and into the main fuel line. Comes out here. Also got the flex fuel sensor in, so we got the E85 capability now here too. The rest of this all has to do with the fueling, and this is a little bit of a mess. So this has to do with the pump here. This is the, it senses basically the pressure from that pump. So that secondary pump's not actually gonna kick on unless the car actually needs it to kick on. So if it's under boost, for example, then this is gonna kick on, and it's actually gonna use that secondary pump to throw more fuel at the actual car there. So this is that little solenoid pressure something. I don't even know what the heck it's supposed to be called here. That senses that there. So that's plugged in. It runs through the wires back there too. This is a relay, I'm assuming, for all of that setup here. And then this wire right here runs back from the flex fuel sensor that you see right there, right? And then that is attached to the ground and also pinned into my ECU, which was behind this fender, and a pain in the absolute butt to get to. Now, all that being said, we're done. And the car is going to make its way onto the dyno. So I'm going to reach out to my tuner, actually book a time here. A couple more things like you can button up, just like some cosmetic stuff here. I'm probably actually gonna set it on the dyno there without the front bumper or the hood or anything like that. You know, just in case some of the couplers pop off or something goes on with that there. So that way we can address it on the dyno and it's not a pain in the butt there. I gotta say, I knew it was gonna be a project, but I really did underestimate how much of a project it was actually gonna be, because man, there was a lot involved. And I'll tell you what, we could have been done probably 7-8 hours ago if this car just had a normal freaking fuel pump access. Like if you could just, you know, on my Mustang, on Camaros, you go behind the rear seat. You know, obviously this is a 2-seater, so it doesn't have it. There's a little access to the fuel pump, pull that off, in, put a drop-in pump. It'd be way freaking easier to do than having to do this auxiliary pump. And before you ask, if you were gonna do a drop-in pump on this car, it's probably even more labor hours, right? Because you'd have to drop the entire rear end of the car, pull that subframe out, the torque tube, everything, just to pull the gas tanks out and then actually hook up the system. So that would have been a real pain in the neck to do it that way. These vets are not easy to work on whatsoever, at all. So if you plan on getting yourself a vet, like really, I mean really know what you're doing, or hey, get someone else that's gonna help you out with it, because you're gonna need it. I do gotta say, I'm very happy that it's all done, it's all over with now. I do gotta put spark plugs in the car still. You know, again, a couple more things need to be buttoned up, but it's time for the dyno, and thankfully we're finally done. It's been basically 4 weeks since I started, right? And a lot of it came from delays with tools we had, or hey, parts that were wrong, or anything along the lines of that. This last stretch of it, we actually snapped a fuel line, so that had to be remedied there. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know these aren't the funnest videos ever here. Now, when this car gets on the dyno, we're actually driving it, enjoying it.
man, look forward to that content. I think this thing's gonna be an absolute monster on the streets. Thanks for watching, guys.